I have a question for both of you. You want to check the Commspheres?
Fuck no. God damn it, no. I don't.
At least we got through half. We got through the worst part of it last time.
It's true.
I think I just heard someone's phone alert.
Indeed, you heard my phone.
I wonder whose it could be.
Oh, wait, wouldn't
We're
be
getting
mine.
some sphere interference.
Yeah, so a thing that Carl reminded me today that we didn't do was talk about the Commspheres from last episode.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
the ones that we were handed in the far plane.
Moments ago. Well, I guess the moments ago thing, we're doing the inverse of what we usually do with the podcast, where it's like, that was a week ago to the listener. So that we got to workshop that bit.
1,000 years ago.
Talking out of turn, that's a paddling. Looking out to the window, that's a paddling.
Paddling the school canoe.
Shandles,
Oh, yes.
that's a paddling. Paddling the school canoe? Oh, you better believe that's a paddling.
That's a paladin.
That's a paladin. So yeah, but when we were in the far plane, we were given two Commspheres by Nuge and Gipple. And we could have watched those at pretty much any time.
It was their wills, they clarified.
Yeah,
Either will. He's joking. He's just joking. It's fine. He's just joking.
That is a joke
He's
that
just
only
joshing.
gets funnier the more I learn about Nuge as well.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because it's a funny, you're like, oh, that's cheeky and stuff. And then it's like, we get it, dude. We get what your deal is. You
Yeah.
bring it up any chance you can.
Which these two spheres specifically bring up in them. So, just in case it wasn't patently obvious, we're the Every FNF podcast, and I'm Curtis.
And I'm Carl.
I'm Alex. I don't know if we said that last week.
We didn't. And and this is Commsphere number 5.
A little bit of Gipple in the sphere. A little bit of Barrelite over near. I guess I could have said here. That would have worked.
Yeah.
Just to say, I don't know.
I didn't want to take
Come
any
over
energy
near.
out of your sales.
Nuge is walking over, coming near. I don't know.
Yeah, where are those spheres?
Yeah, the other thing about doing this podcast on this game and trying to do this section of this game is my screenshots are all the fuck over the place, and I do not know where my Commsphere screenshots are.
So, okay. So, yeah, we talked to Shinra. This is after. We can actually start doing this after we have our little, like, heart-to-heart with Pain on top of the airship.
Yeah.
That's the hood of the car. And this is Crimson record number 2, I think.
Okay. This is the one where they're in the desert.
2 and 3.
Okay.
So
Is the first one we...
The first one we got with Yuna after whistling on that bridge.
Number 1 is them basically, like, introducing themselves to each other.
Or yeah, it
And,
wasn't after.
okay.
It wasn't after the bridge. Number 1 was on the near Vegnagun after we went and found the trio having their conversation where we're like, oh shit, they actually all know each other or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, it opens up. It's more bombastic music that we've probably heard a many times, and there are fiends galore surrounding our intrepid. Almost said 3 people. I guess it's technically 4 because
4 people, yeah.
Yeah.
Pain's very busy holding the camera. While
Yeah.
everyone's
The
surrounded by
record
fiends.
keeper. Is that what they call her? The record keeper in this?
The recorder?
The recorder.
I wanna
okay.
say
I'm thinking
Record
of the,
keeper is another Final Fantasy though. Yeah,
I'm thinking of the mobile game that we'll have to find a way to cover at some point.
yeah. Pain's the protagonist in that one.
Hell yeah.
Can you even play Record Keeper anymore?
Probably.
Let me see. I think I have it on my phone. It's probably one of those apps that I downloaded and played for like 2
I thought
minutes.
what is it? What's the word? Deprecated?
FFRK Junior. End of service announcement. The Final Fantasy Record Keeper game services ended at 4:59 p.m. September 29th PST. I don't know what year that is. It doesn't say what year.
I think it was
Probably
last year. 'cause
Last
I
year,
remember
okay.
talking about it. Yeah.
Man, Maybe we should start doing only online games so we don't keep...
Please use the below contact information if you have any questions. So listeners, we're going to need everyone to email Dina, D-E-N-A, at opencs.dina.jp to ask them how we're supposed to cover their game on this podcast.
How are we supposed to cover this game?
Everyone do that now. That is a good thing to do to developers who are probably underpaid.
Ask about Dirge Cerberus, the Lost Chapter.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure they know all about
that. Okay, again, I know that we're like a little bit off topic here, but to get even more off topic, there have been a series of mobile-only games being ported over the last year or two, and it kind of makes me hopeful for it. Like, there's several of them that have come over.
I think I noticed that our acquaintance Shademp has a phone with that installed on it, is like maybe reaching out to like someone who is doing like figured out how to dump.
I was gonna say Shademp would be the one most likely to get their hands on it,
because they're finding a phone with it installed and then connecting with the person who's actually able to like dump that phone, which is interesting. But that's neither here and there. Here nor there.
Yeah, not so easy to rhyme something with the word sphere now, is it, Alex? Crimson Sphere 2.
You're right. So it shows like you said, our heroes are in the desert. They're surrounded by fiends. There's gunfire going on all over the place.
Ammo! I'm out! This is it. Don't give up! Me? Now what? After you. Scared? Bang!
Heightened action, right?
They're cornered.
And eventually Nuge like pulls a daring feat where he runs out of cover and he fires on all these monsters and he's able to defeat them. And the Gibble and Barreleye are kind of like, yo, that was messed up. You shouldn't. Like, why did you do that? Like, why did you run out of cover, right? And they're like, oh, I've heard that you're searching for a place to die. You're trying to get killed. Is that what's going on? And Nuge is like, when they say that, like, you're looking for your own death, Nuge says, well, it's harder than it sounds. So, like, which is kind of badass.
Really? Like to me, it's easier.
Yeah. You know what? If I gave it a go, I could do it.
If I had my heart set on it, I feel like.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm built different.
No, that line is pretty hard, though. Like,
it's pretty hard.
It's harder than you'd think. It's like, he's just too good at not dying, dude. It's pretty sick.
I know. Yeah.
What a badass.
Idiot savant, maybe?
And then Payne from behind the camera is kind of like, oh, you were ready to give up back there, ready to die. And Nuge says, very perceptive. You'll be a legend among recorders. And she says, well, you're a legend yourself. The Crusaders won't soon forget Nuge the Undying. And that's when I did my like soy point at the screen. And I was like, the very next game, FF12, the final boss is called the Undying. Oh my God.
It's like they knew.
It's like they knew.
Oh, I was thinking about FF13, which we covered, and they're the Undying.
Indeed. Yeah.
So is this where it starts, maybe?
Maybe.
So I wonder if Nuge is mentioned.
I think all of those were in development around the same time, right? Like just different parts, or am I misremembering?
Right, I think like 12 was in development like around the same time as this, and right after this they started on 13.
Yeah, that makes sense.
12 is so good.
And then there's number 3.
Yeah, so that's pretty much the here and there of that Crimson Sphere. Crimson Sphere 3 has them on a boat, and it's like, nighttime, starry sky out. Gibble and Barreleye have their backs against like a mast on the boat.
Or if it's leaky or something.
Yeah, and Nuge is like looking out over the railing, right? And they're talking about what we saw in Final Fantasy X. They're talking about Operation Mihin.
Yeah.
Which lets me know that gives you a good like time frame for this, because we were there during Operation Mihin in FF10, so this must be like right before it, right?
I do like those moments where there's overlap and you're like, oh, I didn't see this, but I was also around doing stuff.
Yeah.
I always like that in a game.
Yeah, I like knowing that other things had been happening around the world. It kind of helps, I guess, retroactively make the world seem bigger.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Because throughout, I think, these next few episodes, we start hearing about, people who joined in for the Singing of the Faith.
Yeah,
right.
I love that.
I think Payne mentioned it too,
Yeah, and I think it does a better job of making the world feel like alive and like things are going on than the Commspheres, where it's so it's like, yeah, I know that there's people walking around in Kilika. I don't need to see them right now. Thank you.
It's like hopping in VC. It's like getting on the Commsphere. I was just sitting around at home. Does anybody want a Commsphere? So yeah, they're talking about that. Barreleye is a little bit like, because he's like Yevon, right? So he's like a little bit unnerved by the idea that there could be a Machina powerful enough to defeat Sin, which, as we know, it was not powerful enough to defeat Sin. But he's still like,
why did something happen at Operation Mayhem?
It went fine. I
don't quite remember.
What do you make of this Operation Mihen? With a weapon like that, it's gotta work, right? It's that powerful? A Machina that can topple Sin. Wow, that's a little scary.
Too big to fail.
That's exactly right.
And then they're like talking about like, oh, so once we get Sin, the calm will come. So you got anything planned for the big calm coming up? Mm-hmm. Which is a really funny way to think of, like, oh, you're just scheduling your time off like before.
yeah, right.
It's like there's no way this could fail.
And I like that News just says, it sounds dull. Like he's like not looking forward to it. He only loves the thrill of battle. And
Barreleye supposed to die during a calm.
Barreleye stands up and he's like, first he wants to drop dead, and now he's looking for excitement. And Gipple says, oh, I guess we better think of something fun to keep him entertained, huh? And he calls them brats, and they all
Brat
have like
Summer,
a good
baby.
laugh. It's Brat Summer. Everywhere but in my heart.
I think Pain is also laughing during this.
Yeah, and they invite her to join them.
Nice.
So,
yeah, and that's it.
What a squad. I'd play a game just with those four.
Yeah, I feel like that's like a good introduction to who they are as characters. Like 1, 2, and 3 do a good job of being like, okay, so they're tight. They've done things together.
They've met. They've become friends, or like friendly enough.
Right.
And just a refresher, the Crimson Sphere 4 right after this is where we saw the shootout happen in the cave.
Okay. Yeah.
Just so it happens very
right.
soon after.
Right. Another refresher, probably good to also do something that we didn't bring up this episode because we've just been stuck in one menu for like 4 hours, but be a good time to go and check in with Barkeep and maybe take a quick rest, because
I did it twice. I
did it like every chance I could this chapter. I was like, I gotta do it. I don't remember.
Sleep tight.
Yes.
But now I guess we can do some more Commsphering.
Well, we can go to the Moonflow now.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
This was next. We have to do
oh yes.
We gotta go get Tobli.
Toblins.
But he is in a little bit of trouble when we arrive.
Typical.
As he probably should be. He seems like he's always getting up to something no good.
That's right. He's, well, what could he possibly do? He's I'm sure all those musicians were playing for free, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, right. Well, I do like that, like, when we select the Moonflow and Buddy drops us off, he conveniently just drops us off in the wrong place. And so, like, as
He's
Yuna
like, yeah, my
appears,
bad. I dropped you off in the place where this exact thing is happening.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
How fortuitous.
Yeah, Yuna's like, what? She's looking around, and you're at the southern point of the path to the Moonflow, near where Jose Temple is. And
Right.
Buddy says, yikes, sorry, must have dropped you off at the wrong place. As long as you're there, why not take a little stroll? Yeah, it's easy for you to say, bud. But we see a team of Al Bhed.
Yeah, you could use some exercise, Yuna. Like,
Yeah.
you've been sitting your ass watching Commspheres all day.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, but there's a team of Al Bhed there, and they're all looking for Tobli, and they're like looking in the grass.
Oh yeah, there's a guy's like, he's not in this bush.
Yeah,
Just, like,
he's like pushing grass aside.
They're the worst debt collectors of all time.
they're being paid hourly, so they're just like killing time. Like, as soon as I find this guy, my hours are done.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, but yeah, one of them, as we start to walk forward, he stops Yuna and is like, "Hey, do you know Tobli? Like, is he around here? Have you seen him? We have word that he's nearby. And as soon as he says that, Tobli like runs out of like the side of the screen into the middle of the path, and they go like, "Oh, there you are!" And he starts running away. They start running after him, and you get like a quote unquote mini game, I suppose, where we just like run down the path. We get into a couple encounters on the way and see a bunch of very funny running animations from these Albed who are like trying to catch Tobli.
Yeah, and it's everyone's favorite mechanic in a game, which is backtracking. So it is a path that we have walked many times. We have to walk it again. We got to walk back to try and find Tobli, then go the other direction to follow Tobli.
This is not unlike a Think You'll Walk It thing, right? Where it's kind of
that's true.
A little easier.
And they do like
we are fighting bandits and monsters and stuff along the high road as well. Yeah,
it's true. And the entire time they're like making fun of how he looks, which is like, they're like, "You fat son of a bitch, you beak-faked motherfucker."
Sometimes slightly dated.
Yeah, sometimes we get a little throwback to Final Fantasy VII, where a word is used that is no longer kosher, and we will just leave it at that. To poke fun at his short stature.
And that's right. But we basically chase him all the way down into like the main part of the Moonflow.
Where that little ball of pudge learned to run like that? Beat. What was the? There's a lot of like, "Come back here, you beak-faced fraud."
But we chase him down to, and along the way, like the Albed start giving up and like passing out and not being able to run any further. But we're able to chase him all the way to the screen before the Shoe Puff ride. Which is like where there's like the billboard and the bench, and there's like several people there, and they say like, "No, Tobli hasn't come this way. Like if he's still on the Moonflow, he's back the other direction." And so we have to turn around, and we see him like run out of the forest again, and then keep running back down the way we just came. So then we have to chase him back down the other direction, down the Moonflow, until eventually we see that he's like stolen the Albed's vehicle, like their little speeder, and he drives
glider thing.
Yeah, and he drives it back into the other direction to the Moonflow.
It is pretty funny. The cutscene is amazing because it's like the Tokyo Drift theme was just playing in my head the whole time because he's like just fucking drifting by. It's so sick.
Totally drift. I like all the bystanders are always very funny. I like there's old man, old women talking, and like before the scooter blazes by, one of us like, "Oh, if these old bones were a little younger, I'd be helping Tobli with his show." Then later is like, "That Tobli's one cool dude."
I read that in the voice of from Ferris Bueller. They say he's a righteous dude. If peeing your pants is cool, consider me Miles Davis.
Speaking of old folks, where have the grannies been? I haven't seen them sphere.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
they're getting the high value spheres. I bet they're the only ones still grinding.
They did find the sphere with Titus in it. Titus.
Yeah, they have the one.
They found the one Yuna's been looking for the whole time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they can complete the game without doing 100%.
Yeah, that's right.
They're just that damn good.
I do like speaking of like things that people say during this. Once Tobli crashes the speeder, it looks like either into a tree or into the cart that's near the Moonflow, and it's overturned.
Or just overturned it. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's just a Hypello that says, "I am still in shock."
Yeah, the Hypello around here have good dialogue with their like style.
Chief Tobli has gone ballistic.
Yeah.
I like the one who says work is slow today.
I do like also, the woman and child are still there. And like, "Mom told me not to act like Tobli."
Yeah. Yeah, honey, don't act like that.
On the next screen, since now we're like chasing him after the scooter thing, there's that kid who's dressed like Shinra. And the kid says, "Those pet collectors are after the Beak Man."
That was really cute. Yeah, I like that a lot.
Man. But we learned that he has indeed crossed the Moonflow, so we get to get on his Shoe Puff, take it across the Moonflow, and there's two more Albed there who are looking for him as well.
It's also funny because Pain has to like talk to Hypello to confirm. Like, maybe she also speaks Hypello.
It's just English, but you put the sh in there the whole time. She's like, "Hold on, I can do this."
It's just the Moonflow dialect.
Have shoes sheen Tobli. So yeah, we cross. There's 2 more Al Bhed there. They're looking for him.
Espanol.
And one of them is like, yo, I bet he's hiding up in this tree. And he kicks a tree, punches and kicks a tree a couple of times. And then several seconds later, Tobli falls out of the tree onto his head and like knocks him out.
This is a John DiMaggio, I think, voice too. We hear,
yeah. It is.
A lot of John DiMaggio and a lot of Rob Paulson, who's also Tobli, just like pulling out like some of his Animaniacs voices, I think.
Yo, you're gonna kill!
Yeah.
But he runs towards Guado Salam, right?
Yeah, we chase him up toward Guado Salam, and at some point, like a shoe puff starts stampeding the other direction and like chases the Al Bhed away. So like, yeah, I guess. And then so we're the only ones left who are following Tobli.
Yeah. When you talk to someone, he's like, damn, after that like shoe puff thing, like there's nothing I don't doubt that Tobli would do anything. Like, so Tobli released the shoe puff or like started a stampede just to keep people away.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who gets trampled does say, "Grr, enough is enough already. We'll come to collect some other time."
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't get to talk to him.
Yeah. Also, on the port, like after we ride the shoe puff, there's our old musician friends are kind of sticking around, and Daria says, I'm not even gonna try and do the Shrek the Shrek voice, but I'm over my air sickness at last, but the queasiness won't go away. Boris says Pukatak and our other friends wish to stay with the woods to the end, and Pukatak wait a second. Weird. I think I actually just found a typo. It doesn't. They're talking about Pukatak, and then this character's name, who looks like Pukatak, is Pukara.
Yeah, there's a few different names.
There's a couple of them.
The ones on the wharf are named Pukara. The one in the woods is Pukatak.
Okay. So they're just talking about Pukatak. I see. Soon the woods will be no more, nor will my family's home of yore. So just more foreshadowing about all of that going on.
Sure.
But we eventually catch up to Tobli, who's waiting on the basically that cool swirly entrance.
Yeah.
In the giant like tree root that's glowing.
Mm-hmm.
And he just seems completely like.
Yeah, he's over it already.
He's completely relaxed of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, oh hey, what can I do for you? Like, just he's not out of breath at all. He's got so much energy.
But yes. So we explained that like, we're going to be throwing a big show, and we need his assistance. And he's like super into it. He calls it Unipalooza.
Unipalooza, yeah.
He says, "What a yummy Unipalooza it will be."
Spectacularly spectacular! 'Twill be a yummy Unipalooza indeed. 'Twill go down in history.
Sid's gonna wear like a Rastafarian hat that makes him look like a narc, and everyone's gonna be pissed at him.
These kids getting bent out of shape over every little thing.
Billy Corgan smashing pumpkins. Yeah, Una nodding politely. So he comes up with the idea. He's basically like, okay, well, if you want everybody there, we're gonna have to hold it somewhere really big where everybody can fit. So we'll hold it in the Thunder Plains.
Why not the Calmlands?
I guess that does make more sense.
That's what I was thinking too. The Calmlands definitely makes more sense. The Thunder Plains, there's fucking Marlboro everywhere in that fucking place. The lightning is constantly striking.
I just watched a video where Foo Fighters just ended their concert midway because like, hey, there's lightning. We're gonna stop playing and we're gonna come back at like some other date.
Yeah,
it's too fucking dangerous.
I know that the Al Bhed set up like lightning rods and stuff to like catch and harness this stuff.
Still getting rained on.
Yeah, it's like it's a bad place for a venue. I don't mean to question Tolby's ability to run a festival, but
yeah,
Tobli. I always say Tolby, whatever.
Yeah, I always almost do it.
Toby's. It's a unit show. It's not freaking like Woodstock '94.
Yeah. Tool is playing after Una, though, I heard. So.
So Payne asks, like, well, how are we going to get people to come? And he says, simple, leave it to me. My power PR team will push it pronto. Oh, boys.
Oh, boy.
It's just like the LeBlanc thing. Boys.
Yeah, and then we get a great scene of just a shit ton of Hypello. Just
a shit ton of Hypello.
Yeah, they say PR is our specialty, right?
Yeah, advertising is our specialty.
We look at you spectators.
Yeah,
it's weird because like where were these guys when he was trying to sell tickets like
Yeah.
chapter.
This is my other thing. How is he compensating his crew of workers? Because we just saw him running away from debt collectors. We find out later that Yuna does not want to charge for this concert. It's not about making money on this. So I don't know what's in it for Tobli other than like he's like doing the opposite of being like you'll play for exposure. Yuna's like I want to play for exposure, and he's like I want you to do that, but also somehow I want to make money off of it, even though you're not charging money. It's like it's a weird plan. I guess he's like,
Charity
I'm the one who promoted this huge, awesome show. So
I wonder if
you
like
hire me and give me money.
He just
and I'll
wants
do it for you.
good name, I guess.
I wonder if like
Yeah.
Hypello don't need shelter or food. Like maybe they're just like totally fine to live outdoors. They can just eat through photosynthesis, and so like nothing you could offer them.
Maybe that's why he wants it at the Thunder Plains. Hypellos thrive. Like, oh yeah, my workers will work for free if it's at the Thunder Plains.
Maybe.
They're not gonna get
Yeah.
dried out and withered up like little.
It's just the fucking.
Like,
It's the fucking Grunkalunkas from Futurama, where like, Hermes is like, "You're telling me I can fire my entire staff and hire Grunkalunkas for half the cost?" He's like, "Yeah, they think they have a good union, but they don't."
like, I wonder if they're just like they're kind of like this entirely over it species of people who are only doing things for the pure love, because like they don't need a home
for the love of the game.
Yeah, they don't need a home. They don't need to eat anything. So like they just do things for fun, and
They
that's
don't need
it.
a mate. Apparently, they're all boys.
Yeah, they don't need to mate. They don't do that.
We're all musicians who have played in the scene and play in the scene and stuff, and we all know that every musician's favorite part about being a musician is the promoting aspect of it, is getting people to the show. Everything else is secondary. Nothing. That is the passion of the musician, is trying to get butts in seats.
So I should note that from now on in the notes, instead of writing out Hypello, I write Hype Men.
Hype
Oh
man.
yeah, that's a good point. They're the ultimate hype men.
I mean, they have that like hand wave. They're always like raising the roof.
They're sometimes doing the little like the boogie, or they're doing like the kind of.
Listen, if a hype fella
Yeah.
came up to me on the street and told me about a show that was happening and was doing a little dance, I'd be like, you know what, this show's probably gonna fucking rock. So I will follow him wherever he's going.
Sure is playing. It's like who?
Yeah, like Buddy kind of comes over the intercom and says, "Brothers orders, bring every last Hypello back with you." And then we get like the mission complete of all the Hypellos just fucking dancing, throwing their hands in the air.
I love the kind of murmuring of all of them. Someone saying, "Yay!" Like, I'll try our best.
And then we also get a black tabard garment
That's true.
grid, which
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, "Ooh, let me look at this." And then, in true me fashion, did not look at it because I guess I had to dive into more Commspheres, and I was like, I'll get to it later, and completely forgot.
Are you looking at it now?
I'm gonna try and pull it up. Finding the garment grids, like the good one that tells you everything about it, is always so difficult.
This one uses black magic.
It's
black
the
magic abilities.
Faith of Bahamut.
Ooh, cool.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
I'm imagining Bahamut is the Bahamut's probably the thing on the back of it then, or on the.
But equip, use black magic abilities. It has magic plus 15 on I think most of them.
Gotcha.
It has a cool Z configuration, so it's like a cross.
Yeah, it's like a little lightning bolt.
Yeah, it's a cool S.
Nice.
It is a cool ass. It's got the cool ass on it.
The ultimate form of a garment grid.
But then, right, but when we get like a cutscene, like the screen fades out, we get a little interstitial cutscene. Usually we're like taken right back to
on
the
Celsius, yeah.
Celsius, right? And like we are on the Celsius, but there's a little extra cutscene here where all the Hypello are on the deck, like they're on top of the Celsius, and they're like diving off, like Buddy go.
This is a very fluid animation. It's very much like the Jar Jar Binks diving into
Exactly what I was going to say was Jar Jar. Yeah.
It's very agile.
Less flips, but just as cool.
Yeah, Buddy says, we're over the calm lands now. Are we ready to go? And Brother's talking to the Hypello. He's like, grab everyone you see. We do not want anyone in Spirit to miss this. And then like a bunch of them are like, oh, leave it to us. And then they jump off the fucking like Celsius off the front. And Yuna's like, yo, are they going to be all right? And one of them says, be back in a jiffy, shister.
I think you talk to Pain later, and she's like, I hope Hypellos can bounce. Like, God, the Hypellos are the fucking ultimate life form in this game. They got that shit figured out, dude.
They've evolved perfectly.
Past this point, I'm not entirely sure why, but past this point, Shinra is just encased in an orb.
Yeah, so he goes into that. He is working on something for the concert.
He got a Sonic the Hedgehog power up.
He's
Rings are coming flying at him.
I saw that he's like working on it, but I'm not sure why he's encased in a fucking magical orb.
I guess that's how he has to develop this sphere technology that he's working on for the concert.
Okay.
He's in maybe it says VR helmet type of thing.
I was going to say, are we seeing what he's seeing in his Google Glass? Does that still exist? Is that timely? Is that still around?
I think it's the Apple fucking what is the name of the stupid Apple one that like people were acting like it was the next big thing,
Vision?
but I don't think anyone.
Yeah, they're still talking about the Vision.
Okay, the Vision. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, he says, the project, I'm engineering a giant sphere screen for the stage. That way, even people way in the back will be able to see you.
So I guess he's doing he's calibrating, like the thing around him is the sphere screen that we'll see it later during a cutscene of the concert. It kind of just,
I'm guessing it's like a little mini
projector.
hologram. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's just like doing all the visuals. He's working on the visuals on his screen.
He's working on a model version. Then
Yeah,
he can literally scale it up later. But he says all the Hypella have been deployed. And then Brother says Achtung Baby to the concert grounds.
He does say that.
Which is either a reference to U2.
I thought it was a U2 reference.
Which is apparently a reference to a Mel Brooks song, which is the To Be or Not To Be the Hitler rap.
Ah, I see. Not to be confused with the Whitest Kids You Know Hitler rap.
So, is Buddy just a big U2 fan, or is he a big Mel Brooks fan?
I think Buddy
or
is kind of
just... Is he a big Hitler fan? Is it the third?
Uh-oh. The more I read about this Hitler fella...
we think we should kill this
Hold
guy.
the phone.
You and me, kill him.
This I think maybe it's U2, because Shinra's working on the big Vegas sphere, and as we know, U2
it
loves
is the
playing
Vegas sphere. Yeah. Oh my God. They were. Oh my God. Final Fantasy X-2 predicted the Vegas sphere. Let's go. No,
I like that Brother knows a little bit of German.
Brother makes a Britney Spears reference later on, so I think they're just like really in this chapter. They're like, let's just throw in as many music, like popular music references that we can make now.
Macarena.
Yeah, that was in the last one.
Yeah, Macarena.
It's just subtle enough that I don't usually like when there's any kind of like modern reference in a video game. I'm like, no, don't do it. But I feel like it's like sparse enough in Final Fantasy X and X-2 that it's like, all right. Oh, yeah,
it's charming.
Skibbity toilet, says Brother.
He's Brother is sticking out his gat for the Rizzler, which is an Al Bhed phrase that I'm not familiar with.
Hawk to a baby.
No. God damn it. Yeah. It's charming in this game.
At this point, the album was from the 90s, not from like current day. Like,
exactly. Like that wasn't just like.
Yeah, they weren't making reference to, I don't know what records came out in 2003.
Well, it's post 9/11, so that's in solid My Chemical Romance territory. So.
Toxicity? Or was that
maybe
already out? That might have been like 2001.
Let's see.
Deloused in the
Deloused came out?
Deloused, yeah.
Damn, they should have had some Mars Volta references in this game.
Yeah.
That shit would have been that would have been hard to sell.
Think Tank by Blur came out that year. Permission to Land by The Darkness.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 2001 was Toxicity.
Okay.
Is that I have to imagine that's pre 9/11. This is what I do anytime there's anything. By the way, I'm just
White Stripes Elephant and Linkin Park's Meteora came out that year.
Okay.
Oh, I remember. I remember that year well. I got Meteora, and I was very excited about it. I saw a meme today that was like me when I was 15, and it's just Meteora, and it's just, or it might have been Hybrid Theory, but it's like, this shit rocks.
Me when I'm 30.
This shit rocks.
Oh, and I think the most Brother like energy record ever, which is Fire by the Electric Six.
I went and saw the Electric Six live. They're really good.
Brother to me seems like a D. Antwoord fan.
Maybe he does kind of ninja.
Yeah, and I mean that in like the sense of I think he is also problematic and bad, much like D. Antwoord, even though their music is cool. I say cool lightly. I enjoy their music, even though they're fucking despicable.
My list
people.
of okay South Africans is very short. Specifically white ones, I should say.
Yeah,
right, yeah.
Dave Matthews, you're okay.
I was gonna say, I think Dave Matthews. So.
He's also getting more and more okay with every passing day, it seems.
Indeed. Regardless, now we are able to do more Commspheres.
Continue Commsphering.
Oh, goody.
Thank
Good
God.
stuff.
I'm glad to.
Thank God, I was
finally
having fun for a second.
I know. I almost had fun for a moment. I was like,
If you guys
"Ooh."
want to have a little bit of more fun, that is outside the 100% guide, you can be like me and be like, did I rest this chapter? I better go and rest just to be safe. And I went upstairs and there's a little cutscene and Barkeep, I think, is like doing a little dance. And he says, rehearsal starting. And
the tutorial is in Hypelish, I guess. Hypelesque.
Yeah, Miss Yuna and Miss Riku are nervous about their performance in the concert. Press A, B, X, and Y in time with the beat and help them get over their stage fright. So
this is like Chekhov's tiny performance stage in the bar now is actually like coming to has a purpose now.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Here's a little hint for you all. Don't do it in time with the beat, as a matter of fact. That's a bad idea. Because what happens is, every time you press the key that's showing on screen, it just gives you another point. So you can just sit there and smash it as fucking human, like just as fast as humanly possible. Because
get an 8-bit DO controller and just turn on
yeah,
turbo.
just go turbo on it. Because like, you need 150 points to get the best reward, and my points were like 500 plus because I was just sitting there going the whole time.
My total groove was 52, so I did not do that.
Does it matter what button you're pushing?
It does. It needs to be the one that's being displayed,
because the ones that are being displayed are very cryptic. Like, I do not know what this is.
They hardly look at.
I want to talk about this tutorial. I don't understand this. I also don't know when it comes up. I'm assuming in chapter 5 because I went through all of chapter 4 and didn't have to do this again at all.
You didn't have to do this part? Because I think you have to do this to go on. Because I tried to go... Yeah, because I tried to go on and they were like, oh, you can't do anything until you've done rehearsal. And I was like, oh, okay.
Interesting. Okay, so I just
did
didn't
this
see
part
that.
later.
Yeah, okay. So I just did it early. But it was a thing where I was just going to check out Barkeep and I got instantly thrown into there and I'm like, oh, okay.
Okay, so here we go. You should watch the yellow and red symbols. You'll get more points for dancing in time with the red ones.
Yeah, so...
And do you just hit it when the icon appears?
As soon as that icon appears on screen, I just started going nuts on it.
Is it color coded though?
Say what?
Are they color coded? Because they all seem like the same icon.
They're all color coded. I think A is red, X is blue, something like that.
Because Riku's icons are changing, but Yuna's for me was always the same color with same
really?
shape. Maybe I was just
Yuna's is like yellow.
Were
and
you just
red,
hitting the
I
same
think.
button?
maybe.
Because I think it just shows you the button that you're hitting, and on Riku's side is the button you want to be hitting.
I think there was a thing where like the red buttons, like the red button presses are like worth more or something, but it's like, I want to help. Like, I think the perfect way to describe this minigame is it is only slightly better tutorialized than how you unlock the eject shot. So I have no fucking idea what this is for, why I did this, if I locked myself out of a reward already by doing the rehearsal and being bad at the rehearsal, or what.
Curious what the icons look like on each system, because in the original version they are very like they look kind of like a Spiran version of
the
controller
input
buttons.
Yeah.
I don't know what they look like on Switch, if it's the same or not. Very strange. But either way,
it is a very...
Yuna and Rika are dancing.
Yeah, it's a very weak mini game. The only reason I knew is because yeah, I know. The only reason I knew is because I had watched like speed runs where they do it. And they just fucking smash through it, and they just smash that button as fast as possible.
It changes the camera angle, too, I think, every time you hit a button.
The funniest thing, too, is, like, the buttons all have a certain sound effect that's, like, mapped to them. So Y is, like, a tambourine shake. One of them is, like, the, like, kids shouting, .wav. Yay! Yeah. And then
like
one of them is, like...
Birthday Party in Halo.
Yeah, and then one of them is like an orchestra hit, and it's super funny to just be smashing the button.
When you're pausing in NHL hits 2002,
right.
just the orchestra hit after orchestra hit. So okay, so
the funniest is like the children like shouting one, just hearing it like 30 times a second is like the funniest shit.
So Curtis, is this a thing that you have to do later then? Like, is this a thing that you do again and you have to get a certain amount of points, or is this just like the one time and it's that?
This is the one time, yeah.
Oh my god, are you fucking kidding me?
Well, okay, so the thing you get, the reward you get for it is like really good with a big fat asterisk on the side of that. In that it is, you get an item called Schmooth Shaling. Okay. And it's like a super ribbon or whatever. It's like a ribbon, but it like protects against everything, even some things that ribbons don't.
Wow.
But it automatically makes you slow.
This is why hype pillows are freaking invincible.
Yeah, that's why hype pillows are invincible. They all have that. But and they're all like slow, right? Like so.
Interesting. Because so it's like I don't think I got anything item for this. I got a safety bit. That's what I got.
Okay.
I got something. What did I win?
Okay, so because I was under the impression that this was just a fun little like optional thing that you could do to practice what you would have to do in the concert, and I was expecting during the concert that I would have to do that.
Right.
The vibe of the concert, spoiler alert, much different than
Rancid.
this fun
no,
little.
the vibes are good.
much different than the vibes of this dancing mini game. So little confusing there.
So much for there's not very much for rehearsing.
Indeed.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you get one attempt at this, and we're saying it's rehearsing, so it seems like you're practicing something for later, and then nope, it's you only had the one chance.
This is more like rehearsing for if she was performing the song from the beginning of the game.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Not her slow ballad that comes up later.
But after she's done, Riku asks her what she's going to sing for the concert, and she like kind of ad-libs or like comes up with a melody on the spot.
She starts like humming to herself, yeah.
Right, and Riku...
It's a little better than her La 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 song from earlier.
Yeah, and then Riku's like, oh wow, did you just come up with that? And she's like, I don't know, not really, I kind of felt it from the inside. Yeah. And Riku's like, oh, is Lynn, you were getting something from her? And she's like, yeah, I think so, because like obviously Lynn is the original owner of that dress sphere that she's wearing. She's like, oh, maybe I heard it from her or something like that. But so that's what she's gonna sing, something that she came up with via what would you call it, like a psychic connection with Lynn.
Yeah.
I don't know much about her, but I'm learning more and more. Bits and pieces of her memories keep pouring in. It's like I can feel what she was feeling.
Thus shall Len's scattered thoughts be woven into bittersweet song. Something like that?
Hey, that was poetic.
And then Payne comes in and says they'll be arriving soon, so everybody needs to get ready. And then after we get dropped off, they're going to go pick up all the spectators. So like they're going to go like everywhere in Spira and pick up everybody who wants to see this show.
The party bus, dude. And the ultimate goal is to stop Vegna gun, so it's the Vegna bus.
Vegna bus.
The Vegna bus. The Vegna bus is coming.
Vegna bus is coming.
Oh my god. But yeah, very charitable time of from everyone. Like Buddy's chauffeuring everyone in the world. Tobli is
just chauffeuring everyone in the world.
Luckily, Buddy got to kick it at the hot springs for a bit.
That's so funny. Sorry, what?
Uber's a pay me shit for this. You guys better tip.
I'm just a contractor, not even an employee.
All the resources are insane. Like I don't know where Shinra's getting his building a Vegas sphere by himself.
Yeah, I don't like it. Wherever he's getting it from, I don't trust it. But yeah.
So I guess now we can.
If we talk to Payne, she says, if you're worried about Spira, you can always check the Commspheres, and there's just like. Riku's wondering about how the advertising's going with all the Hypello and stuff. So it's basically like, oh yeah, you got some time to kill as like we're getting ready for all of this. So go ahead and check the Commspheres.
It would be funny if we check the Commspheres and then we see the freaking like Celsius landing and picking everyone up.
Yeah. That would be really good.
Just to kind of add like some, continuity. Just people are getting disembarking.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, let's get back into the our sweet commies.
Our sweet, sweet commies. The first one I went to was the Becklem one where he's explaining that he's leaving.
Yes.
I was gonna say Brazil. Where the Besaid, that's it.
I'm going to Brazil.
Becklum
Yuna,
goes
come
up
to Brazil.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah. He says, "Oh, it's you. You've probably heard, but I've been called back to Youth League headquarters. It's a shame, though, having to leave Besaid in the hands of slackers." And Yuna said, "Besaid will be fine. Waka's there to keep an eye on things." And he says, small consolation. If you ask me, his brother was 10 times the man Waka was. And Yuna's surprised. She's like, "Oh, you knew Chapu?"
We fought in the Crusaders together. He always talked about Waka. Said, my brother's the greatest person in Spira. Imagine my surprise to find out the legendary Waka's nothing more than a wishy-washy wimp. There were so many things I'd wanted to talk to Waka about, but not anymore.
And Yuna's like, what kind of things? And he's like, memories. Well, that's enough chit-chat. I need to get ready to leave.
Huh.
And that pissed me off so much.
They do a great job of making me not like that guy.
Yeah, like I have my problems with Waka, but it was like, like little brother mode where it's like, yeah, I give my little brother a hard time, but if anyone else does, I'm gonna kick the shit out of them.
Yeah,
I'm like, you keep fucking Waka's name out of your mouth, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he's the dad who's just like, yeah, man, as long as we have fun at school.
Yeah.
But then they like back when these guys are like freaking soft and whatever.
Yeah, it's like I wonder why.
Challenge me to a gun race
between the two of you. Which one of you have actually won a Blitzball championship?
Between the two of you? Which one of you guys has killed Sin? Mr. fucking
killed
Crusader.
Sin and got laid.
Yeah. Jealousy is a disease, bitch. Get well soon.
Yeah, but it's also like, I
Waka's
wonder why.
winning.
So it's like, oh, okay. So you knew about Waka by reputation from Chapu, his brother, and like he was always really excited to talk about how great Waka was. And then you met Waku. You met Waka after Chapu died. I wonder why Waka might not have been as fun as you were expecting him to be.
Yeah.
I wonder if he was going through any kind of
Well, we'll see how that's...
It's just like, dude, he's in mourning. He's mourning his fucking brother, dude.
I genuinely don't remember how Becklum's story wraps up in Chapter 5. Like, I don't remember. I genuinely don't. So I'm kind of, like, excited to see if they wrap that up in, like, a satisfactory way. That makes me be like, oh, Becklum wasn't so bad. Or do they wrap it up in such a way that I'm like, good fucking riddance, asshole.
It could go either way. I feel like there's always a character like that in an RPG where you're like, fuck this guy forever and I hate him.
Yeah. There's another scene on Besaid where Lulu comes out of the hut. And she's like jokingly being like, "Oh, shame on you, Yuna, throwing a concert the one time that I can't come see it. Like, how thoughtless, And like, obviously, she's kind of like she's just goofing around.
She's razzing.
She's just razzing. But she's like, oh, I don't think that she means it in like a mean way or anything like that. But she's kind of like, well, you're once again going to be you're putting yourself on the line once again for the good of the entire world, like hinging everybody's like peace on yourself. It's funny that you left here being like, I'm going to change myself and not be that way anymore. And you are doing literally the same thing that you did like for Sin or whatever.
She's doing the same thing that Shinra's been doing, but coming from her, it's like from a place of love of being like, typical Yuna. Like, of course, your heart is so good and pure and big.
Exactly, yeah.
You can't help yourself but to help everyone. Like, that's a very admirable thing. And every time Shinra says it, it's like he is like giving her a hard time because he's like, that is your biggest weakness, you fucking weak asshole. And it's like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Well, my homies hate Shinra.
But Lulu gives her advice saying like, don't try to force yourself to change anyway. If you're going to change, just let it happen naturally. That's the best way for it to work. And then like Waka comes out and he's like, oh my God, why are you walking around? Because Lulu is getting ready to have a kid soon. So he's like, are you sure you should be walking around? Maybe you should go back inside and sit down or whatever. And Lulu kind of offhandedly to us is like, I bet Waka, for instance, doesn't even know that he's changing or whatever. And like, Waka doesn't know what we're talking about. So he's like, what are you guys talking about? What are you saying about me?
And Yuna's just like, oh, it's girl talk.
Yeah, she says it's girl talk. And Waka goes, oh, is that so? Because I think it's actually a boy.
Yeah, the way he's kicking in there, he's going to be a soccer player.
Yeah.
The legs on that baby.
Yeah. And Lulu says, oh, on second thought, maybe he hasn't changed at all. And then that's the end of that scene.
Yeah.
All his
cute.
life, baby. It looks like there's more scenes that are probably optional. I don't think that
okay. I didn't do any of the other ones.
I'm looking at the script, and it looks like there are more, because I think most locations, if you watch long enough, a hype hell will show up to talk about the concert.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cute. You can also like hover on the screen a bit, and Waka just sits like right in front of the sphere, and then Lulu just walks towards the temple and like disappears, and then Waka runs into like the hut that's not his hut, and then a couple minutes later he like runs back. Yeah, he runs back out and runs into his hut, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess the scene is just done then.
But yeah, you can see. I think scene 3 it says. I think Dato and Kipa and Jasu, the whole Aurochs are overhearing about the concert.
Hey, Yuna! We heard about your concert. Too bad we can't go cheer you on.
Why not?
With the baby about to be born, we're kind of worried, yeah?
Lulu's fine, but you know Waka.
Okay.
It takes a blitzball team to raise a kid.
To raise a child.
Scene 4. It's time for today's surprise interview. Let's turn things over to Boda here in Besaid Village. So wait, so Jasu's not... I actually didn't watch this. Jasu's like interviewing people.
Waka, you're about to become a father. Tell us how that feels.
I don't know. Won't really know until I am one, yeah?
It seems he doesn't know.
It seems he doesn't know. Wise, bewildering words.
That explains it. If he knew, he wouldn't be running around without a clue. It's just them kind of razzing him, I think, with the camera. But they're probably like, I haven't seen it, but I'm imagining they're like just playing with the Commsphere like he's a camera or something.
Gotcha.
Welcome back for round 2 of our interview. This is Dado reporting from Besaid Village. Which will it be? A bouncing baby boy or an adorable little girl?
Well, can't say for sure, but I got a feeling it's gonna be a boy.
Oh, nope, it'll be a girl.
Wait, why? How did you know that? You find out some way?
Oh, I don't know.
Did you find out some way?
And I think that's about it, yeah.
It's also interesting that they didn't change Lulu's model at all. She just looks like exactly the same as she did in Final Fantasy X, which it's like...
Riku mentioned like in a previous scene, like, shouldn't she like be a little bigger by now?
yeah. And it's like... It seems like it's just kind of... why would they make a whole new asset for this character? Like, Waka's the same exact character as well.
I know people who make a pregnant Lulu for free.
Yeah, exactly. Just I was kind of like, because it's like, yeah, it sounds like she's like about to have the baby, but no signs.
It's gonna be a very stringy baby with all those belts on.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, yeah, maybe it's just it's well hidden because of all the belts.
Or her belly is much lower than we were led to believe.
Yeah.
Who knew how it works in Spira? Maybe she has like a kangaroo pouch.
Is that all the scenes in Besaid?
That's all for Besaid.
Okay. The next ones are the ones I was talking about last time, where like there are several in Kilika where you just like look in on Donna for several seconds, and then like you have to just like hope, I guess, or like just know that eventually after like so many seconds she's just gonna start talking to herself. But there's a couple scenes.
Yeah, there's a few where she's just sulking around her house. She spends so much time indoors. It's kind of a bummer.
Well, I mean, whomst amongst us?
But there's a lot of times, she's like talking to Bartello kind of to herself.
She's like rehearsing things to Bartello, trying to figure out what to say to him when she actually sees him next.
You seem to have forgotten exactly who it is you're supposed to be guarding. I ought to fire you for just up and leaving me the way you did.
Yeah, it's funny because the first couple are like, she's like, oh, please come home, Bartello. Bartello, I miss you so much. And she's like trying all this out, and she's like, this just isn't me. This is just not how I talk. And then, the one she finally decides on is where she's like, you fucking moron. I shouldn't have left you alone. It's my fault for giving you any kind of leniency and letting you make your own decisions.
Give me $200.
Yeah. Come on, Bartello, we're leaving. And she goes, yeah, that's the one. That's how to do it.
We both need to do some soul searching. Like, she's basically kind of like bullying him into like going to what sounds like a couples therapy or something.
Yeah.
Like we both need to be working on it. Let's go together. Come on.
And then as she says that last part, if you like pan the camera out and toward the door, there's just a Hypello there watching her do all this. And she looks at him, like she notices him and looks at him, and he goes, I didn't see a thing. And just leaves.
Actually, Shinra says I didn't see a thing, which is weird.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. At first, there's a Hypello on the first one. And the second one, there's nobody there. And Shinra just goes, oh, I didn't see a thing.
Oh, that's why I didn't see the Hypello part. So the second one, I was like, why is Shinra talking like a Hypello?
Oh, yeah, because
he's just that seems a little insensitive, Shinra. Don't do that.
Yeah, of course. He's fucking spying when Donna clearly wants to be by herself. And then he's making fun of the Hypellos.
I I do like the third one though. I think that's like very cute in that like we're back outside again. Like Donna's holding the Commsphere and walking around, and she's like, "Yeah, you know what? I think these balloons that the kids are sending out really will reach the temple. Let's give it a try." And she attaches some balloons to the Commsphere and then lets it go off into the sky. Which, like, I don't think a Commsphere is recording anything, so I'm not sure that like what her plan is. Like, other than, like, I guess we can talk to Bartello now, because he broke the last Commsphere that was there.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what she was. I feel like she was just trying to get rid of it, and she's like, oh, maybe they can talk to Bartello, but also,
yeah,
I don't want this fucking piece of trash in my room anymore.
Yeah, and as it goes off, she says, all my best for the concert. So I was like, oh, that's all right.
Yeah. Donna's become kind of a cool buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Donna a lot.
Kind of a comrade. But then, yeah, we watch again. We actually catch up now because we can see the Commsphere has landed at the temple.
Yeah, the Commsphere actually has landed, and Bartello's there. And he's like,
hey, look! These are some balloons Donna sent us!
Yeah, and he says he's been trying to send balloons back, but he can't do it because when he blows the balloons up, he overinflates them. And I'm like...
Love it,
Bartello. Dude. Come on, buddy.
I love it so much.
Oh, will my feelings be stranded here forever?
Yeah. Then he goes, Donna! And then breaks this Commsphere too.
I just love how he's so much of a himbo that he doesn't even understand how balloons work. He's just too strong for the balloons, dude.
It's like when you put too much air in a balloon, something bad happens.
Something bad happens.
What else we got? Mushroom Rock Road is next, I think.
I watched a quick little clip just from Luca, and it's just like we just hear a voiceover. It's just like a pan over of like the square and Luca.
Don't touch that sphere because we've got Lady Yuna's concert live. Thanks, and stay tuned.
She was talking about like the show coming up. I guess she'll be broadcasting it.
Okay. Cool.
And then we rewatch it. We see some high pillows hanging around while the goers are just doing laps. Around the square.
Okay.
Everyone's getting ready for lit season, I think.
Oh, wow. The goers? Wow.
Yeah.
Fuck those guys.
Oh, that reminds me. Okay, like, very small aside. Since Chapter 5 is coming up soon, I just wanted to go ahead and, like, get this out there. Chapter 5 has a lot of mini games and things that you can do that take a really long time. So when we get to Chapter 5, you should just play ahead. We should all just like do all of Chapter 5 immediately and just take notes, because there will be like when Blitz season comes out, like if we want all the rewards or to get to the end of the Blitz season or whatever, you just need to play the game for like 10 hours. So it's
real Final Fantasy 10 hours then. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the 11th hour, it takes double 11 hours. Like
yeah. But I think that you can do them in like any order too. So technically we could go out of order for the 100% guide and stuff like that. Like we may like this boss in this area is too hard, so we'll come back for him later kind of thing.
Sure.
Anyway, that's just a little note for us and for you, dear listener. You should just get cracking on that right now. Right. So that was Luca. Then Mihan High Road? Or I'm sorry, Mushroom Rock Road?
Mushroom Rock Road.
Mushroom Rock Road.
Nice close-up of Lucille's butt.
It just starts right on her butt.
A gratuitous start to this scene.
Indeed.
There's no avoiding it. We can zoom in more, but it's already way too zoomed in.
We've said it before. Do not play this with your parents around.
Do not play this one with your parents around. That's right.
But yeah, it's just Lucille's just kind of talking about how like she needs to kind of keep things under control. Right.
She's like she's torn in between having a duty to build defenses for the youth league, while at the same time building defenses not going to fueling like ire against New Yevon. She's like, I don't want to be caught pants down and have pants because it starts on her butt. Anyway, she doesn't want to be caught unawares from like a New Yevon attack. But at the same time, just the act of like building defenses is like fueling the fire for the youth league to be like, oh, I want to go fight. So she's like, I kind of having to manage both of these things, right?
Right.
And Yuna says, I'll do what I can to calm the situation down. And she's like, an inspiration as always,
Yeah, she's like, hey, just try and keep things under control for now. I'm also working on it. I'm gonna try and like get everyone to not be pissed at everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
For my part, I will keep the troops in order, as Nuge would, were he here. Do not let our troubles distract you from your performance. I will be quietly cheering you on.
Then there's a second scene in Mushroom Rock Road where we do the same thing, but we talk to Yaibel instead. And as always, whenever Yaibel's on the screen, I always want to be like, Yaibel, you little shit, I hate you so much.
Where's the nearest locker? I need to stuff you in there.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
fucking dork.
And the scene starts, and Yuna's like, yo, we're having a concert, Yaibel. You should come and see it. And he's like, oh, I have duties, though. And I was playing this game, and I was like, you little shit, just be cool and skip. Just leave.
Yeah,
Stop
you
committing
dork.
war and just go see a concert. That shit was own.
The fucking teacher in this situation is essentially Yuna.
Sorry, my mom says I have to go to war.
It's like,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
your mom is also kind of Yuna. Like, Yuna is kind of your commanding officer. Like,
Right.
just
Yeah.
fucking...
Unisquad.
Yeah, like, come on. You have the excuses right there. And he's like, yeah, if only I didn't have all these responsibilities.
You could sneak out and come.
But that wouldn't set a good example for my subordinates.
Well then, bring them along too.
Well, if Lady Yuna herself thinks it's okay, then maybe it is.
Sure, why not?
I would just like to say real quick, I apologize for interrupting you or whatever, but I've had my cell phone in my hand this entire time, and I've just been like flipping around and dicking around with it or whatever, and I just hit the lock screen, and it was like, you have attempted to unlock this phone 5 times using biometrics and stuff. You are no longer able to access your phone. And I'm like, well, I'll deal with that after the podcast, I suppose.
That's what you get for being on your phone during class, Curtis.
I wasn't even looking at it. I was just holding it.
I've been playing with the zip tie. so
Yaibel
it's
is
fine.
also locked out of his phone because
Where-
the teacher
where's my
yelled at him.
where's my the thing I
Where's
had
your pliers?
yesterday? Where are my pliers? Play with my needle nose pliers again.
I think the only reason that I'm not doing that is because I am very clearly holding my Nintendo Switch to go through my my screenshots. Otherwise, who the fuck knows what I'd be doing with my hands?
Although it looks like there's more scenes. I didn't watch all of them.
Oh yeah, the point was I was gonna say is it was funny to me that I was like, Yaibel, you little bitch, just skip and go. And then at the end of the scene, he's like, perhaps I will skip and then go. And I was like, yeah, my boy, let's go.
Finally, he might start becoming cool.
That's right.
But if we 100% guide says that's all we need, but if we keep watching the next scene, we can see that Yaibel is like teaming up, like getting his crew together to go to the concert, and his excuse is that we have received reports that New Yevon may be planning to disrupt Yuna's concert.
Oh no, Yaibel.
You little shit.
We're to proceed immediately to the Thunder Plains to secure concert grounds. So like that's their excuse of why they're going. It's
No,
like,
no, he's gonna make it
security.
worse. So yeah, so the scenes coming up where we see like people about to kill each other in the Thunder Plains, that's Yaibel's fault.
Yeah, he's kind of just turning it into like a work outing where it's like the mandatory fun that you have.
Yeah.
Because like the managers are going to be pissed if you don't go on a Friday night to the happy hour that you don't want to be at.
This is basically like the in Blues Brothers where all the cops are watching the concert happen in the back.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
but they don't
yeah.
interrupt to like we can't I guess if we keep watching, there's like a guy who's like, because Yaibel's gone.
Yaibel squad's patrolling the concert? Who are they kidding? New Yevon might be planning to attack while everyone's distracted by the concert. But everyone's still abandoning their posts and heading to the Thunder Plains.
So he's like, just like, oh man, everyone's leaving. This is weird. But then if you watch it again, he says, oh, I can't take this anymore. Screw it. Maybe I'll go. So everyone's going to the show.
Everybody's going to the party. Have a real good time.
We can move on to the Moonflow, where there is a scene between Elma and a Hypello. This one's interesting because you have to do the 4-time zoom to start it. If you don't zoom in, the event doesn't start. So if you zoom in all the way, you'll
I like
hear
your
the
use of interesting there.
Annoyingly.
The interesting thing about this is it's more bullshit than usual.
Yeah. But yeah, it's Elmo and a Hypello talking, and Elma has Elmo and Elma has her chocobo there beside her, and the Hypello's like, "Oh no, I don't think so. Ish bad idea, yes." And Elma's trying to get her.
She's like, "Oh, I heard you the first time," and
Yeah,
Yuna chimes in. She's like, "Yeah, is something? What's going on, guys?" He says, "Lady Yuna, you won't believe this. I was planning on riding out my chocobo to see your concert, but this guy still won't let my chocobo on the shoe puff. Can you believe it?" And the Hypello says, "Impossible." And Yuna's like, I mean, we could give you a ride. Like, you can hop on the airship.
Yo,
And she's
we're
like,
giving every other person in the entire world a ride.
yeah, a free ride, baby. And she's like, no, don't worry about me. I will swim my way to the concert if I have to. Like I always say, where there's a will, there's a way. That's what I say.
Yeah, I like that line. That's what I say.
That is absolutely what I say. The thing I always say is, well, there's a will.
I'm
there's a
always
way.
saying this.
You're always saying this.
If she had a...
Well, it sounds like she needs a blue chocobo.
Oh, God damn it. Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say.
Either way, yeah, she says, well, Lady Una, bye. I'll see you at the concert.
Yep.
But if we watched it again, we eventually Hypello are walking by, and of course this is kind of close-ish. I don't know why I'm saying it like Hypello, but to where Tobli, we meet Tobli, but they say concert promotion is underway. Gots to run, and then like a giant shoe puff comes barreling down the bed, almost stepping on that child who's just there, just kind of ignoring him.
That child who kept talking about how sick shoe puffs are, maybe.
Yeah.
Being like, oh, I hope there's a shoe puff in the show.
And then I think it like hits the Commsphere with its tail, because we see all 4 of its feet.
It must just bust it up.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because if you tune into it again, it says offline, but if you look carefully, you do kind of see, like, you can still see the kid and stuff, like, through the noise.
Okay.
So there's that. That's I think all there is for the moon flow.
We can go to a Guado Salam and get another scene with Ormy, which I like this scene because he was like, "Oh yeah, I sang the Hymn of the Faith too." Like I was there when it happened. I was like, Ormy, my guy. What a dude who's come around.
Tough guy is singing the Hymn of the Faith with the whole world. I loved that. I'm like, I've fully come around on Ormy. I love this dude.
I feel like in the opposite of Becklem, right? Where like you start out and you're like, oh, Ormy and Logos, what a bunch of weird assholes. Like I hate them. They're creepy. And then like the more you like hear about them, especially Ormy, he gets like the better scenes. You're like, you know what? This guy is all right. I like this guy. He's like genuinely motivated. Like even like his like evil deeds are motivated by concern for like his partners. You know what I mean?
I also like the little.
He's quite a cronk.
Yeah, he is a cronk. I like the little lore bit where it says, "Back then we was working for those Yevon creeps. Me and Logos were forced to do all their dirty work.
Or doity work.
Those were bad times. Oh yeah, doity work.
Back then we was working for those Yevon creeps. Me and Logos was forced to do all their dirty work. Those were bad times."
His voice acting is so good. But yeah, no, I just love that they were a part of Yevon, but like not by like belief system or anything. It was like just a job to them, and they're like, yeah, they made us do all of their dirty work, and like we know from the last game, Yevon's dirty work was extremely dirty. So he wasn't into it. He's like, those were bad times. I hated that.
Yeah,
we could tell a new age was about to begin. It was magical.
It was magical.
Bring some of that magic back to Spira again. I know you can do it.
And Yuna says she won't let him down.
Very good. You can watch it again, and a hype man is there talking to a femgoon.
Yo, hell yes.
Coming to Yuna Palusha. Everybody else is coming.
Everyone is going to be there.
Yeah, FM Goon is like, this is no time for me to go into concerts.
Now's the perfect time for you to go to a concert.
Yeah, Hypel was like, oh, you can't come? Like, if I knew LeBlanc was safe, it'd be different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is a bummer, because I do think LeBlanc does miss the concert. Oh yeah, there's still more scenes, I guess. I didn't watch all of them. There's more like Femgoon saying, a concert, but without LeBlanc. Yeah. Maybe she'll come back when she hears about all the fun. She loves that stuff. Yeah, but when she's the star.
Yeah.
Hey, if you think if LeBlanc comes back, we could try to hijack the concert? Like what? And take on the Gullwings? I don't know. I think I'll pass on that. Thanks. Come on, we can show them what the Syndicate's made of. Maybe we can get some stage time.
Look, we're all homies now. Did you not hear the memo?
Whatever we do seems to end with us getting our clothes ripped off. Which I'm glad that came back around.
That's amazing.
It's like those fucking Gullwings are freaks.
Yeah, and then Shinra says they're plotting something nasty. It's like, no, they're not. They're trying to have fun.
Is there anything else there?
Or I guess he's probably alluding to them having their clothes ripped off because he's a little fucking pervert.
Looks like there's another scene where like the goons like, oh, if the LeBlanc Syndicate goes under, you think the Gullwings will let us join them?
Oh, nice.
Yo, that rocks, hell yeah.
Say what?
It might be a nice change of pace. You know, sphere hunting with a high summoner.
I don't care how high she is. LeBlanc is infinitely classier.
You're right. She's still got a lot to learn.
I wanted like a panel of just Yuna, just like, no, Yuna, Julian doesn't do anything.
Yeah. Yuna's listening in, obviously, and she just says, that's not funny. There's a scene of a Femgoon running into the mansion. Goon 1 walks over to Goon 2 and then returns. Okay, so the next two scenes are just like nothing scenes. You would think that's the game illustrating, hey, he's seen everything, but who the fuck knows? Because there could be a better scene after that no one knows, because why would you keep watching?
At this point, I think I just was going to the list and I just tuned into the Thunder Plains, and we do see this hype hello and like concert goers just kind of partying and waiting, getting the hype pre-show going.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I thought something was going to happen.
We can also go to Xanarkand. That's where I went next.
I went to Makalania, which was really weird.
Well, yeah, tell us what happens there.
I got jump scared because there was like, you were like panning around like nothing was happening. All of a sudden, Pukatak just comes right from below, like right up against the camera. It's like, oh. It's just like, I heard the news and did a jig. I hope your concert will be big.
I hope you have fun at your gig.
Yeah.
Oh.
Dunga says, hey, belt out a couple of nuts for me in the lads, eh?
A couple of nuts.
Byra says, yeah, the faith has gone and we must also go to our end of the woods. Now we have but to wait for our time to come. So everyone's just like being like,
everyone's having fun, and then he's just like, oh, by the way, we're all gonna die soon. It's like, we get it, dude.
We're busy being kind of nothing out here. There's a lot of weird ones. Like we see
him and Nuge gotta be really fun at parties, huh?
If we keep watching, we do see Pukatak appear, wave, and then like fade away. Scene 3, we see it again, but it's Dunga. He waves, disappears.
And disappears, yeah. Byra appears with some baby musicians.
That's right, the little squirt ones.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah, I forgot about them already.
Oh, that's right. This was really scary because like he waves, and as he fades away, like the whole woods like flashes dark, so all that's glowing is just those like orbs in the trees.
Oh, interesting.
Like, it was really spooky, and then it comes back on, and the camera's like having technical issues.
I like on this script that I'm following here, scene 5, an amorphous gel tries to crush 2 Guado, and then it says LOL.
Yeah, I don't know what this is about. I was like, why? Like, there's like just a Guado walks on, and like it's almost like they put this amorphous gel there, but because it was like semi-transparent, they didn't know it was there in the scene.
Okay,
because it's just like they're trying to like stomp on these like Guado that are in the background or something like that.
Weird.
Interesting.
It's super weird.
I actually lied. I didn't go to Xanarkand next. I went to Makalania Lake next.
The travel agency. We got check in with Owaka.
And he like Lulu is like, hey, I can't believe you're throwing a show when I can't go to it. What the heck?
Everyone's giving Yuna a hard time.
He wanted to get in on the hustle.
He also wanted to he was like, I can't believe you didn't come to me to promote the show. I would have been making so much money for you. And Yuna's like, no, it's free. We wanted everybody to come see it or whatever. And he was like, oh, okay. Does that mean that there's still tickets? Because I just wasn't going to go because I figured it was sold out. And she was like, yeah, you can come. Just let's go. And he's like, I'll set up a concession stand and make a bunch of money that way.
Owaka, do the words no one will be turned away due to lack of funds mean anything to you? You're clearly very not punk. You are very not DIY.
He's not very punk. No.
Oh, apparently if you you didn't complete the whole Owaka paying off his debt thing, a Hypella will just be there saying, some fiends have unexpectedly shown up. Somebody shave me.
Oh, no. Okay.
So he's like just trying to doing his hustling, but got cornered.
Get the fiends to come.
Yeah, that's right. It's your job, man. Let's go.
That was Owaka's plan.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
Then I went to
Beacon L.
Oh, Beacon. Okay, go ahead.
I went to Beacon L, which is kind of goofy because not a lot of one to end again is mentioning this fiend. It's like, oh, we sent a group out to stop that fiend, but they weren't very successful. Like, if there's anything you can do, please come out. And then all of a sudden, like, a bunch of the like gliders and stuff in the background explode. and I think they like yell run away, and oh
my gosh,
the sphere is just busted, I think.
Yeah, and Chendra's like, oh, that can't be good.
I guess you can also check in on the Cactuar village if you really want, but there's not really much there because no one can talk to without Benzo.
Oh, right, yeah.
It seems like Shinra is the dialogue's actually pretty funny. Let me just go through it. Yuna, do you understand her, Shinra? And he says, I'm just a kid. And she says, well, Benzo's just a kid too. And he says, that's surprisingly mean of you. And then Benzo says, can I help you? And Yuna says, Can you tell me what Marnella is saying? And Benzo says, Benzo's always saying how he'd like to be more like Shinra. Something like that. Enough. Turn that thing off. And Yuna says, I wonder if it broke. And Shinra just says, he's quite a character.
like Marnella is saying that Benzo is always saying how he'd like to be more like Shinra. I see.
Yeah.
That's funny. I went to Bevel. Apparently there is an optional scene where you can see a Hypello promoting the concert, but maybe because I'm with the youth league, they just shoot the camera.
Okay.
Because
Nice.
they were spying on them. And Shinra says, "Oh, must be camera shy." I checked in with the Ronso again, and because Kamari is busy just guarding the gates, the Ronso youth have decided that they can go.
Okay.
Oh,
which is nice. So I guess there will be Ronso there. I didn't see them. Spoiler alert.
Ronsa Rumspringa. They can leave the mountain.
There's a lot of optional dialogue because of the Garrick thing.
Looks like there's like a ton of optional shit. I'm wondering how much is even worth, because and also optional in the sense of like, oh yeah, if you fucked up the mission on the mountain, then this is a scene that will happen, versus like if you didn't fuck up the scene, this scene will happen. And it's like there's a lot of shit in here. And again, it's like optional, so it's like I don't know where I land on it, because I'm like, it's kind of cool that they had so many different permutations, but like the implementation of it is so clunky and just feels like fucking tedious busy work that it's like,
sure, it doesn't feel like a dynamic world building. It just seems like a lot of missable cutscenes and like flavor text.
Yeah, it just feels bad. It's like if you see it, it's like, oh, okay, I wonder what happened if I did the thing the wrong way. And then it's like, oh, okay, well, is it worth even doing that? Like, even just kind of reading through it here, I'm like, I don't know if I'm getting anything out of like seeing Garrick say, Ronso find new path to follow, snowy mountain wind make path hard to see, Ronso youth must search for unseen path to future.
Wow. So
snoozers.
Yeah, like Jesus Christ.
Okay, so Xanarkand. I heard those things are awfully loud. Yes, so Isaru is here. I was gonna say our boy Isaru, but I'm like not sure. I'm not sure where I am on with
friendship
Isaru.
with Isaru ended.
So many people are just trying to get by, finding their hustle, and Isaru I think has given up on his hustle.
That's fair. That's fair.
Imagine being a fucking summoner who didn't kill Sin, and the Eternal Calm happens. That's like the fail son of just Spira.
Yeah,
their parents like, you could have been Yuna. You could have done that. Every Thanksgiving was like, yeah, I know. Like, you could have been the Pope.
They'd be like, oh, you should marry that Yuna girl. I don't want to.
So yeah, we see him. He is talking to a Hypello. So the Hypello is telling him the story about the concert coming up, and he's like,
the Hypello told me the news. You're having a concert? Using the power of song to unite Spira. Is that it? I know you can do it. Or rather, you're the only one of us who could do that. Good luck, Yuna.
That's nice.
Yeah, he's cool. And then the second one, he kind of has like a little. He talks to Yuna kind of about how even though it's been years, he's still kind of stuck as his old self. Like everybody's changing, but he doesn't feel like he is changing in the way that he's like. I mean, it's still weird to even use Commspheres to talk to you because that's Machina, and it doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, oh yeah, my brothers are always laughing at me and saying I'm behind the times and that I'm stuck in the past and stuff like that. And he asks about Bevel, and Yuna's like, oh, it's not going good, fam.
Because I got the scene of Maroda, she mentions that we saw Maroda in Bevel too. It was like, oh yeah, like how is Bevel these days? As you said,
yeah.
They can't find anyone to lead in place of Barrel Eye. And like, Isaru's like, well, I wouldn't be surprised if they try to push some of their problems on you, like, old times, seems like, right?
And Yuna's like, yeah, what would they expect me to do? And he's like, I had no idea things had gotten so bad. Thank you for telling me.
Yeah. And then there's a third scene with him where like he's all the way on the left. You get to scroll all the way to the left and down. Barely on the screen. And he's like laying down, taking a nap or something like that. And he just says... Nap. Yeah, and he just says like out loud to himself, I wonder what I'm supposed to be protecting, and then that's it, right?
Yeah. Then you can also, I think that's like pretty much it for the 100% ones, right?
That's all for the 100% ones, which is therefore all of the ones that I did.
Yeah, and there is, my uncle does work at Final Fantasy, and he told me how to do this. I put in some special inputs, and I got a special Commsphere one where we get to talk to Nuge. And he's just kind of, it goes in, and Nuge is sitting there, and he's looking directly into the Commsphere, and he says, "So Yuna, I hear you're putting on some kind of concert. That's good. People need to be entertained. They need the distraction. I wish to God that someone would be able to block out the voices in my head for 5 minutes. The voices that scream over and over again. Why do they come to me to die? Why do they come to me to die?" And then the
What's
kind
that
of pans
from?
out. That is from Wayne's World 2.
Okay.
That's the guy who works at the diner, right?
Yeah. He's always just taking control.
The
of
actor who plays Hal in Married with Children, I think.
Yeah. He's always taking over the camera from Wayne and Garth and just saying insane shit.
Almost as if he's like from a completely different movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just like,
they
I don't
say
know what's
that,
happening right now.
They say that if you kill a man in battle, it's heroic, but if you do it in the heat of passion, it's called a crime.
That does seem to be kind of Nuge.
Yeah. I was trying to think as we were going through all that. I'm like, which is the character in Final Fantasy X-2 that is the most like that guy? Like Glenn from Wayne's World and Wayne's World 2.
So is that where we're going to end it today?
Do we want to wait to do all the Thunderplane stuff next week?
I think next week we could do like Thunderplane's mission
concert.
and concert. Yeah.
And I guess the first scene after Chapter 4 wraps, which is kind of like the epilogue to the concert.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Which we can we unload everything that happens.
Sure.
Yeah.
In real time and with the cast.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Yeah.
Lovely. Everly bubbly. I'm excited for more tunes.
I don't have a segue planned. Carl, help.
Anything going on for you guys in the next few weeks?
I'm making a video game. That's not something that's happening, but like
follow Curtis on Twitter because he's been sharing a lot of really cool, dev stuff. I love seeing the color palettes and the parallax effects and stuff. It's really neat.
I have discovered. I went in being like, the only reason that anyone should do coding is to display cool, fun graphics on a screen. Like, that's the only reason to do it. And the more I get into it, the more I'm like, no, actually, I don't care about graphics anymore. Code is fun. Like, I like to make the number do things.
Cool. Anything for you, Carl? Haven't really been streaming. Have you been playing another Zelda?
Another Zelda? No. I have played way too much of the Elden Ring DLC, and I finally beat it. I have been uploading all of my playthrough of that Elden Ring to my YouTube, which is, I've been trying to do more of that. So if anyone wants to follow me there, that would be cool, I guess. But it's youtube.com/@CarlGermPlays, because there's another Carl Germ in the world who got the...
what the fuck?
Yeah, like, I think it's also his name, like, for real, so I can't be mad about it or anything, but...
I think you can be mad about it. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm relaxed of it. But yeah, no, I'm trying to do more with that, and it's a baffling platform, and I don't have the time to do, like, actual YouTube videos, so it's kind of just a VOD dump, but I edit out, like, breaks and stuff, but I figure it's good to kind of just have a more accessible place to watch me play games than just... if I was doing it on Twitch and you get to catch the VOD before it disappears. So
yeah, fair.
Yeah, just been uploading stuff. I have all of my Dirge of Cerberus videos somewhere, so maybe I'll upload that there if anyone's interested. But if you're interested, go to my latest video on YouTube and just like it and comment on it, upload Dirge of Cerberus. And the more of those I get, the more likely it is that I'll do that.
Well, Alex, I know that you have a lot of responsibilities with this podcast, but would you want to maybe just skip this once?
Huh?
Is this the scene with Yaibel?
Oh, yeah. I'll make it an excuse. I was like, huh? What? There's a lot of talking. There was
I couldn't figure out what to do. I was like going through them, and I was like,
there was very little gameplay these last 2 weeks.
I know.
Yeah, there was a lot of diving.
Do you want to chase us up the Moonflow and then back down the Moonflow and then back up the Moonflow and then cross the Moonflow and then chase us up to Guado Salam?
You want to practice dancing with me, Alex?
Rehearsal? Yeah, let's do it. Thank you all for listening. Thank you to Mariko Matsuda and Takahiko Iguchi for the game music. We'll be hearing a lot more of not them next week, I think. Someone else. Be sure to rate and review and subscribe wherever you're listening to us. You can find us at EveryFNFF on Twitter /X/BlueSky/Instagram/YouTube. I don't know if you can hear the Mr. Softy.
Ooh. Thank you, Mr. Softy, for the music as well.
Yeah.
And for the delicious ice cream.
They come down my street. And hop into our Discord. It's always a fun time. We're always talking about, honestly, all the weird stuff going on in this game, and also rooting for our friends. Like a few weeks ago was, GDQ, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And like everyone was rooting for Dan. So congrats on Dan for that run. Belated.
That run was so good.
But yeah, be back in a jiffy, Shister.
See you next week.